let's talk about OMAD, how to get started with OMAD, and what you should do. If you're new here, welcome. My name is Daniella Joy, and I've lost over 110 pounds on my weight loss journey. I made this transformation with OMAD, 1 meal a day. I was fasting for 20 hours for the majority of it, doing keto OMAD, and eating within a 4-hour eating window. I lost 60 pounds with 1 meal a day. And this is my overall weight loss transformation. I've done things like keto, calorie counting, high protein diet, and so forth. And the reason why I started OMAD was last year I got into a car accident. I had a lot of injuries. And when I'm in a lot of chronic pain constantly, I just binge eat. It's why I ballooned up to 282 pounds in the first place, because I was dealing with chronic pain after receiving an injury giving birth to my son that doctors couldn't figure out. So yeah, I turn to food for comfort when I'm in pain as opposed to medications. I have a hard line with doing any strong medications. I don't want to do that because I know that can lead down to a bad road. But the food thing also led down to a bad road. But anyway, OMAD has been a great tool on my weight loss journey. It has taught me discipline. It has taught me the power of the human body, and that yes, I can lose weight. I was obese for my mid-20s. So when I was 25 to about, I guess last year, I was obese for a really long time. And that's almost 10 years of obesity, almost about 10 years of obesity. And I thought I was stuck that way after giving birth to my son. I thought I was, doomed to being obese, but OMAD helped me, and I'm forever thankful to that diet. So I want to share with you how you can get started with OMAD, and also share with you when you should stop and take breaks. So if you're new here, make sure you hit that subscribe button and come join the fam, and make sure you hit that like button, guys, because this act helped me out. It helps get my videos out to more people who may find OMAD as a great tool on their journey. It may be their answer to losing weight. So let's get into it. Now, with OMAD, the way to start OMAD, you want to make sure you have an app. You want to be able to track how long you're fasting for. Have an app. Don't do it off the top of your head. I like to use the app Zero. You also want to make sure you have some apple cider vinegar. You make sure it's 0-calorie apple cider vinegar, because that's going to help bring your blood sugar levels down and help put you in a state of ketosis faster. You want to make sure you have some sparkling water and some 0-calorie teas, and some sodium and potassium salt. Now, I like to use Himalayan salt or Andrean salt from the Andes Mountains, or you can use real salt. That's another salt I've used. Or everyone's talking about this Celtic sea salt. You can use that. It's better to use a higher quality salt. And the reason why you want salt is because while you are doing your OMAD fast, you want to make sure you are taking electrolytes throughout the day. You can get an electrolyte pack too. Just make sure it is pure salt and it doesn't have sugar in it. And the reason why you want a salt is that it helps keep your electrolyte balance in check, because if your electrolytes crash too low, you are going to have all sorts of issues, especially if you're doing keto OMAD. Now, if you're doing regular OMAD, eating carbs, you should be fine, because carbohydrates, I think for every 1 gram of carbs, you retain, is it 3 grams of water? I may be wrong. If I'm wrong, I'm putting it down below. So when you retain that water, you also retain some salt and stuff. So carbs kind of helps you keep that. So you want to make sure you have all those things, and some sparkling water just to help you get through the hunger. Now, the first time you do an OMAD fast, it will get tough in the afternoon. However, hang tight. You'll eventually get OMAD fast adapted. I have a video on that. Check that out in the card above, or I'll link it down below so you can make sure what I'm talking about. But it does take time. So make sure you have those things. You want to make sure you have your electrolyte drink first thing in the morning. And also, I'm going to advocate taking vitamins while doing OMAD. Make sure you're taking like all sorts of vitamins just to help your body while you're going through this dieting phase. I'll tell you the vitamins I take. I take vitamin C. I take B vitamins. I take a B vitamin 50 complex, B2 vitamins. I take a multivitamin. These are things you should be taking when you're in a calorie deficit anyway, because you are putting your body in a situation where you are trying to resist its evolutionary urge to keep on weight. So you want to make sure you have all of those things. You can take certain vitamins fasted. Certain vitamins are best taken with food, like fish oil. You want to take that with food. And you also want to take vitamin D with food. And yeah, but the vitamins I took without food were vitamin C, vitamin B2. I also took coenzyme Q10. I took that. That was mainly for headaches that I was dealing with that I'm still dealing with my injuries that I had. So you want to be taking vitamins while you're doing OMAD. So you can do OMAD in 2 ways. You can fast for 20 hours and eat within a 4-hour eating window, but please be aware you should be counting your calories. You gotta figure out for yourself. I'm not gonna be throwing out any calorie numbers anymore. Choose a calorie number, make sure you're in a calorie deficit, and see how it works out. It's gonna be different for everybody. And make sure you're eating in a way that you're controlling your appetite. I like to say count your calories. Some people don't like to count their calories on OMAD. And if you don't like to count your calories on OMAD, then do real OMAD, the second version of OMAD, also known as the 23-1 OMAD. So you're fasting for 23 hours a day and you're eating within a 1-hour eating window. If you do it that way, you're guaranteed to be in a calorie deficit and you are safe. Trust me. I did an hour eating window the other day and I ate about 1,500 calories. That's definitely putting me in a calorie deficit. And then when you're done your fast, make sure you are, having some tea to help digest your food. And I totally forgot to mention, when you're eating your food, you want to put some sodium and potassium on your food, because when you do that, food is the best way to funnel in salt. It's the best way for your body to retain your electrolytes. And then you begin again tomorrow and you do this. You can do OMAD 5 days a week and maybe eat like normal in a calorie deficit, or eat at maintenance for 2 days a week. You'll still get results. Or you can do OMAD through and through. It doesn't matter. Like, as long as you find a balance that helps you get the scale down. Do whatever you need to do to help you get the scale down. The way I did OMAD, I did it straight. I did keto OMAD because it was easier for me to stay in a calorie deficit with keto OMAD, because keto OMAD definitely helps to crush your hunger way better than regular OMAD, because you tend to crave more when you have carbohydrates. And I was staying in ketosis longer. So when you're in a state of ketosis, you are in a state of fat burning, because the process of creating ketones is the process of burning fat. You need to burn fat to create ketones. So that's why keto OMAD was so great for me. You can switch it up. You can do some days keto OMAD, some day carb OMAD, but beware, the scale will be a little bit funky. Now let's talk about the scale. The best time to weigh yourself with OMAD is right before you break your fast, because that's when you'll be the lightest. Obviously, because you haven't had food for like 20 hours or 23 hours, and you want to do that weigh-in daily. Weigh yourself so you know what is going on. Now, I want to touch on the importance of taking diet breaks, because I made that mistake. So when you're doing 1 meal a day, I would say a good rule of thumb is to go no more than 90 days straight without taking a break. This is a general rule of thumb, because I know based on research, it's best not to diet over like 90 days, because you can put your body through a stressful situation, which I explained in this video, because I dieted for far too long and far too hard. But it's different. It could be different for people. When you're more really obese, you have more resources on you. Now, you got to know when to stop with OMAD. And I should have stopped once I got to the 170s and 80s with tons of muscle. That's when I was at a good body fat percentage. However, my problem was I was basing it off the scale. And the scale says I'm overweight, or my BMI is still overweight. But for me, genetically speaking and structurally speaking, I'm very big boned. I'm a tall girl. I've got big boobs. So it's going to be a little different for me. That was actually a pretty good weight for me, but I was trying to get down to 155, which probably would have been too lean for me. And in me doing so, I put my body through too much. I don't think I had a little bit of body fat left. You have to have the discernment to know when to stop. Now, if your BMI is obese, you can probably keep going. But once you get to the overweight BMI, close to the normal BMI, slow things down. And even if you are obese, it's okay to take a diet break, because it's important to learn how to maintain your weight. So I just want to put that out there, because I don't want people making the same mistake I did. You want to know when to slow it down and stop. But again, if you're obese, have a lot, more than I would say 40 to 50 pounds to lose, around that amount of pounds to lose, you should be okay. But again, I'm not a doctor, I'm not a nurse, I'm not a dietitian. I'm just a girl, on the internet losing weight, and I'm trying to share with you what I've done and learn from my mistakes. So yeah, that's my little quick tip video on how to get started with one meal a day. If you made it this far into the video, just drop in some plate emojis. And let me know if you have any more questions below. I can do a video on it or direct you to another video that I did. And I'm sending you mad love. Take care. Bye.